heart was beating fast. I began to lose control. I began to lose control. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was feeling insecure. You might not love me anymore. I was shivering inside. I was shivering inside. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. Get your whistles ready. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was trying to catch your eye. Thought that you were trying to hide. I was swallowing my pain. I was swallowing my pain. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. Oh, I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. Watch out, I'm just a jealous guy. Look out, babe, I'm just a jealous guy. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on then. So basically, remember, every single key, we've got 7 main chords for a composer to choose from. In this case, we've got John Lennon for both of them. And he's a kind of really interesting songwriter. He does lots of chords that you wouldn't imagine that would come up in a particular key. And you'll really see that in the second half here, which is really lovely. So we're in the key of G, so let's number those chords through 1 to 7. We go G, A, B, C, D, E, and G has an F sharp at the end. You don't have to remember that. You can always look them up in a book or Google or work them out. It's not a problem. And the 2nd, 3rd and 6th chords in any key are minors, and the 1st, 4th and 5th chords in any major key are majors. So that gives us G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, and then our unusual F sharp diminished, which comes in at the end. And you can see lots of those chords fairly straightforward in this first section. So what are these chords doing then? So in terms of the colours, try and think about how they kind of feel or how they work in terms of the song. So in this first section, the verses, notice that the one chord only happens once, and it's right at the start of the song. So what does that tell us? It's kind of like the song's going to go on a journey, because you know that it's not constantly coming back to this one chord. So it's left home and it's going on a journey. So what's happening next is then we get the sixth chord, which is our green chord. Green because it's slightly melancholy, because it has that minor feel. But it's very similar, the use of this green chord, the E minor, is very similar to the orange 4 chord that we often get after the 1 chord. Remember, the most common chord progression in all of music is 1, 4, 5, because you leave home. 4 takes you on a journey. 5 is the tension that makes you want to go back to the start. Well, the 6th chord does a similar thing, but it just has a more melancholic feel. So imagine you're opening up. I kind of imagine it, we've kind of left home and we're walking through some kind of nice green forest going somewhere, wondering where we're going. Then we get the red, because red is all about drama and tension. It makes us want to go back to the start. So generally when you get the 5 chord, G, A, B, C, D. That's all the numbers mean, where the chords come. Generally, when you get that 5 chord, it makes you want to go back to the start. But John Lennon doesn't do that. He keeps the journey going. We walk through some more forest with the 6th chord, that melancholy. We get more tension again. Is it going back to the yellow? No, we go through for some more forest, and then we get a change chord at the end. The 4 chord creates a sense of change, as we know, right? And that makes sense because we're changing to a new section. So let's show you the chords to that so you can get strumming and singing and enjoy it. And I'll show you how this all works. Let's have a look at this verse then in terms of playing it. So we open up, we leave home, we've got a G chord to get us going. Then we get immediately that melancholy of the 6th chord. The 6th chord isn't the saddest sounding minor chord, but it does have that melancholy feel. Remember, I kind of think about it like a kind of a damp forest that you're going through. Remember my tips as well. When you go from G to E minor, you can reset all your fingers like this, 1, 2, 3. But because this note up here cancels out this note here, remember when you're going from G to E minor, if you can do it, you can just reach up with your little finger. And notice part of the reason that those 2 chords fit together so beautifully is that there's only 1 note difference between the 2. It's just that 1 note, that E coming in, which is really lovely. But it does make all the difference. So let's kind of see how that sounds. Let's just put that together. I was dreaming of the past. Now notice after this first D we go to a D7. You can either lift this finger up or you can play the kind of traditional D7 this way. They both provide the same function, creating a bit more tension, so either's absolutely fine. What it does is it kind of, that red 5 chord is all about tension, turning it into a dominant 7th, which just means a chord with the 7 after. It gives it even more tension. That's the idea, basically. Then we're back to that melancholy E minor again. Stay on it. Tension of the 5 chord, but we still don't go home on our journey, and then we get our change chord. Okay. What we're going to do is we're just going to strum this really, really gently with a walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running. In terms of the mechanics, that's down, 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 up. Okay, just a little up at the end. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, walk, 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 running. You could do some really simple picking on this if you wanted to. Perhaps you're inside out slow. Okay. But I like to strum this one. It just has a really beautiful kind of feel when you strum this one. It's the same with the next song actually. It just sounds really nice and melancholic even though we're strumming them. And that down, 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 up, walk, walk, walk running, it's really great for emotional ballads and songs like this, where you don't want everything too busy or too kind of swingy, so works perfectly. Let's try strumming through one of those verses then. Now I'll sing it with you so you can hear how it works with the words. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was dreaming of the past, and my heart was beating fast. Stay on E minor. I began to lose control. I began to lose control. Isn't that lovely? So really sweet verse there. And a lot of John Lennon stuff uses these minor chords, particularly the 6th chord, to create that sense of melancholy. So one of the great things about this colour system is you can tell that just looking at this first section, you've got the darkness of those 6 chords, which means it's going to be a touch melancholy because the darker colours represent minor chords. You've got the tension of the red, you can see that straight away, and then we've got that change of orange going to a new section. And then notice in the chorus, I mean, just by glancing at it, can you tell how it's got lots of the 1 chord because it's got that bright yellow? And that's what I love about this. It's kind of the colour system. You can see straight away, rather than just seeing some G's and they might not stand out. I mean, you can see this only has 1 home chord, whereas this has lots of it, so it's going to feel brighter and lifted. So that's really handy. So we've got a G chord to set us off from home. Then we go straight to a D minor chord, which is like our 5 chord, but it does have that minor quality for this F note here. Feels really unusual when you first hear that, doesn't it? And then we go back to D. It'll sound like this. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I love those chords. I find them so glorious, so really beautiful. So as I say, the first thing you can tell that there's lots of major, bright, happy, one-sounding chords. But John Lennon tempers that with these unusual chords that he brings in, chords that don't belong in a key. What do I mean by chords that don't belong in a key? Well, remember, every major key will have 7 chords that composers choose from, just like any key. And I've written them at the top as well to help with kind of remembering them as you go. So you can see the key of G major, G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, and F sharp diminished. The reason that purple chord doesn't belong in the key is that the D chord, if you look up there, should be a D major, right? It's just written as a D. And that makes sense because there's no F note in the key of G. There's only an F sharp, which you can see at the end. So this is a borrowed chord from another key. What's the D Dorian mode? I'm not going to go into a massive explanation because it will drive those that aren't into the theory a little bit mad, and that's fine. But there's more information on this on my website and on my uke theory course if you're interested. But the D Dorian is just all of the same chords as the key of C. It's just they start on D. That's all it is. So every mode is a major key just starting in a different place. So D Dorian has that D minor. So we call it a borrowed chord from C major or D Dorian. But again, don't sweat the theory about that. So it doesn't matter. What does matter is how it feels. And this chord, this D chord, it sets up the next chord. Because if you think about it just in the alphabet, D is next to C, right? So a D minor leads beautifully into a C chord. Again, if you're interested, this is only if you're interested. Why is that happening? Well, in a normal D chord, which looks like this, doesn't it? Now that has a D note, an A note and an F sharp note in here, whereas the D minor, it has this F note in it. And the reason it goes so beautifully into the C chord is that the C chord has an E note in it. This one here. And our ears love the sound of one note going to the next one that's half a step away. So that F note there leads beautifully into that C. Can you hear it? You can even try doing this. If you just play a D minor, but just strum down the top 3 strings, and then just strum a C chord top 3 strings, and you'll hear that change. It's really, really lovely. It feels like the chord's going somewhere. So that's probably what John Lennon's done. He probably, because this was written on a piano, he would have actually just seen that those notes are next to each other and he would have played it. He was once asked about Norwegian Wood, whether he knew it was in the Phrygian mode, and John Lennon said, or was it might be in the Mixolydian mode, and John Lennon said, what's Mixolydian mode? It sounds like some kind of exotic bird, which I think's good. So he didn't, know that he was used that Dorian, but that's why. Anyway, that's what's happening in the music. So it sets up the C chord, which follows next, which is bog standard, isn't it, for a lot of music. Then it goes to the 5 chord at the end, which makes you want to go back to the start. So in effect, if you look at it, it's our most common chord combination, yellow, orange, red, 1, 4, 5. It just so happens we have that D minor in, just creating a bit more of a transition. Let's play it. So they're quite quick changes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So in this next line, we've got the same thing happening at the start, G to D minor. And then you're expecting the C chord, but it goes the other way. It goes further. We get a B flat. And that creates a sense of lift. And why does that create a sense of lift? Again, if you're not interested in this, it's fine. I'll just say it quickly. But if you are, it's kind of fascinating, right? Why it kind of feels that lift. I didn't mean made you cry. That bit there, it kind of lifts the mood, even though he's singing about making someone cry, right? And the reason is the B flat chord that you expect, or the B chord that you expect in the key of G, is a B minor. Can you see it up there? Which is a minor sad sounding chord. So by replacing that with a major, just a B flat major, it has an uplift, and you can see it, it's yellow in colour. It's a major chord, it's a happy colour, right, which is really cool. So that gives it an element of lift, which is really good because it's felt quite dark up to that point, and then it brightens it, which is really lovely. Again, don't worry about the theory, but if you are interested, that B flat chord comes from what we call the parallel minor in the key of G. So we talk a lot about relative minors, don't we, at Kanikapila, because every major key has a relative minor with all the same notes in it as well. But actually, if you have a look, this is the major and the G major and its relative minor E minor. But if you have a look here, we've got the key of G minor, and that has a B flat in it. Okay, so we call it borrowing from the parallel minor. The easiest way to think about it is the relative minor is that key that's based on the 6th chord, G, A, B, C, D, E. So the relative minor of G is E minor. The parallel minor means the minor version of exactly the same scale. So the parallel minor of G major is G minor. And again, John Lennon didn't know that. I don't think. I mean, even towards the end of the Beatles' career, he was still kind of just going by what music felt like rather than going into the detailed theory. But just appreciate how lovely it is, that B flat, how it lifts it. Okay, so let's have a look at that second part. Da 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 da. Really lovely, isn't it? So remember, B flat's an awkward chord, if you struggle with the bar, or a lot of us like to do it this way anyway, you can do the finger version like this, where the first finger covers the bottom 2 strings physically nearest the floor. Notice that it's at an angle. It's not like this, it's at an angle. And notice if you watch my arm there, if I do this, it's kind of uncomfortably in at the side of my body, but here it just allows it to breathe out, which is really nice. That allows us to reach up and over with this one to the D note up here. And again, that allows us to reach up here. So if you have trouble with this B flat, most often it's because people are doing this, which also forces your wrist into a really uncomfortable position, as you can see. Whereas if you think kind of nice diagonal fingers, you can reach up and over a little bit easier. You can also do the barred version if you want. Just try and get that bar as close to the metal fret as possible. And also try and put as much pressure on these 2 strings, because these top 2 are already covered, right? You don't need to put a lot of pressure on those. Okay. And if you super struggle with that, you could just play a B flat major 7. Just try not to hit this A string, just 3, 2, 1 like that. Okay, we're basically there. Let's have a look at this last bit then. It's fairly straightforward from here on out, because we've got the 1 chord again. Go into the melancholy of that 6 chord and back. And then a little bit of change at the end. We don't have the 5 chord, but we have the 4 chord, a little bit lighter. And back to the 1. So you get that relief basically of the 1 chord, which is really nice. Let's try that really slowly. I'll come in on close cam so you can see my chords, and you can follow it along as we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor, C, D, G, D minor. Here's our B flat. Stay on it. G, E minor, C, and back to G. Lovely. Let's do it one more time with some words. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. Okay, really nice, right? Really, really beautiful chords. But like I say, quite unusual, those chords going out the key, which is lovely. As I say, for this one, I think just keep it really simple with a down strum. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up. But what I did want to mention is when I get to things where I feel it kind of feels like it has a bit of emotion or it wants a little bit more power, all I'll do to thicken up the strum is just add some more ups. So you don't have to be really specific about this or mathematical, but just know at the moment we're going walk, 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 running. Okay, so the down strums are our walks, walk, 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 down, 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 and a down up is our running, 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 down, up. Well, what you can do is at any point put more runnings in, and it's easier than you think. Have a listen. Walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running, walk, running, 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 walk, running, 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 walk, 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 running. And you can put them in at any point in a song. It just gives it a little bit more emotional drama. So I might start straightforward. And then here, see how I did all running then? Walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running, 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 running. And it just thickens it up and makes it really, really beautiful to play. So, just to make things nice and simple tonight, when you get to this instrumental verse up here, It's exactly the same chords that we use for all the other verses, only you've got a good chance. Lick those lips, wet your whistle. We're going to do a bit of whistle. It's quite hard to do that low. I might even have to go an octave higher, but get your whistling lips ready and we'll do a little bit of a whistle on that. And for the intro, I'm just going to really enjoy the sound of those beautiful chords. They're just so gorgeous. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was dreaming of the past, and my heart was beating fast. I began to lose control. I began to lose control. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was feeling insecure. You might not love me anymore. I was shivering inside. I was shivering inside. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. Get your whistles ready. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was trying to catch your eye. Thought that you were trying to hide. I was swallowing my pain. I was swallowing my pain. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. Oh, I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. Watch out.